Hello everyone, and welcome to a new build that I have put together. This time around, instead of being an inner fire build, I am instead an electric build. So everything's basically focused around the slow mover called Carvia, the Crackling Thunder Staff. Basically what this staff does is that it gives me the Thunderstruck ability, and instead of needing to make Ancestral Strikes to trigger Thunderstruck, I can now just use critical strikes, but crit strikes no longer deal additional damage. But basically, this staff is the bread and butter of my whole build. So, the first ability, my main ability, is Arcane Missile. I use Incomplete Missile for more attack speed. Remnant's Wingman for more Remnants, which is just more crits, which procs my staff more. Evolve and Overcome, which is just generally really good. And then I have two quality of life, I would say. Arcane Phalanx and Arcane Sovereign. I don't really need these. It doesn't seem like this really makes that big of a difference. But it is nice to have, especially this one for bosses. Because this build does struggle a little bit with bosses. If there's no enemies, I don't deal that much damage because it's all based on how many crits I do and how many enemies there are. My next ability is Ray of Obliteration. I have Ever Evolving Wizard, more damage. I have Numb for extra slow. I have Karma's Resolution just to get some extra range. I have Protective Rays just for again some more damage. And I have the Clone of Obliteration, so I can just put down a clone and it's gonna deal the damage for me. So the reason, first of all, I'm gonna just quickly talk about why I use Ray of Obliteration. So I don't want to actively be using it because I always just want to spam Arcane Missile. But I have the Ring Wizard's Catalyst, which makes it so whenever my clone deals damage to a boss, it's gonna apply the it's gonna apply a debuff, which makes the enemies take more damage from my elemental damage. And as you can see, that is all my damage basically. So now I'm gonna go over quickly the rest of my gear. For my helmet, I just have a basic resistance helmet. Amulet of Transference, again, just to get extra elemental damage. Chest of Immense Vitality, because I am trying to life stack, even though my life isn't that great right now, I am trying to life stack. I have the Black Cape, just for a basic extra damage reduction. Sarutia's Pact, which is, again, just extra damage reduction. Sunlight Essence, which is work in progress. I probably will change it to something else at some point. I'm not sure what yet, but I will change it. I have Boots with max life multiplier. Again, I'm life stacking. I have the Wizard's Catalyst. Then I have Static Grip for quality of life stun. I have a elemental damage multiplier Razor. And I have the Relentless Transference Legendary Helmet effect on my shoulders. Basically, whenever I deal Ancestral Strike damage, I deal extra indirect damage, which indirect damage is anything that's not my left right click, and that is actually all my damage. I don't really deal damage with Arcane Missile, I deal damage with Thunderstruck, which is indirect damage, so it's just an extra damage increase. Next up, I'm going to talk about my Ancestral Legacy. So I'm life stacking just to get as much elemental damage as possible. I want Burning Shadows, Elemental Boost, Elemental Reward, extra elemental damage. Elemental Warrior, which is extra elemental damage based on my max health. I went this way just because I need the Elemental Pact, which is extra elemental damage based on my missing life. And because I'm using Immense Vitality, I am technically missing life. So I'm missing half my life, and half of that life is getting turned into elemental damage. Half of my 25% of the half of my life is being turned into elemental damage. This is again why I'm life stacking, because I want as much life, which then gives me as much elemental damage as possible. I forgot to talk about my specialization. So basically, I'm the Devoted Scholar. I will eventually change to Phlegmatic Caster once I get enough rebound chance, but right now I'm using Arcanic Leyline, extra area size. For more tenacity, I have 100% tenacity, which is really nice. I never get stunned and slowed. temporal enhancer, so when I use this, I can shoot through it, and it's just faster, more piercing. I have area damage reduction. Diversify. It doesn't really matter that much, but sometimes when I put down my clone, I do this. I get some extra damage. Then I have bouncing magic for extra rebound chance, which is again it mixes in with evolve and overcome. And then I have emblematic caster just for extra attack speed when I use my arcane missile. And I'm also gonna go over my attributes. So I am going enough toughness so I just get some extra armor. Eventually, I'm gonna be switching to the I forgot what it's called, the legendary item that basically just gives me more evasion based on my health. But I don't really have enough health yet for that to be that good. But I will change eventually when I just get a little bit more health. I will go evasion stacking. So I'll probably just remove all my toughness stats and just put them in Fury instead. I have enough determination just to get some extra max life. I don't really care about the mana regeneration. I'm just doing it for the extra life. Then I have dexterity just to get an extra projectile speed, and also the attack speed is very nice, and the reaper damage is pretty good. Then I have willpower. Yeah, I basically want to go to here at some point. Maybe if I don't need the dexterity or something, I'll probably just go all the way just for the extra elemental penetration. But yeah, I have 55 points in willpower just for extra elemental damage, which is, what I'm stacking. Also, just at the end, for my runes, I currently just have Activation Rune of Astorius. I have the Rune of the Nimble Warrior, just for extra critical strike chance. It's not upgraded yet because I recently changed to this build, but I will upgrade it eventually. Just to get some extra critical strike chance, a little bit more damage. And then I have Enhancement Rune of Astorius, which these are subject to change. I haven't really looked at them that much. I'm just focusing on my gear at the moment. But I really like this build. It's way better. It feels like it's way better than my Inner Fire build. It has way more survivability, which the other build had a big issue with. But I do leech a lot of life, and I have a lot of damage reduction from this and from my cape. And yeah, I really love this build, and I hope you, if you have any suggestions, you feel free to write them in the comments so I can make some changes, to look into some stuff. I am missing a lot of gear. I need a lot more nether gear, and I need to get some high levels and stuff. But it's still a work in progress. I'm gonna make this video the same as the last video, where I might make another video on the same build but upgrade it in the future. But yeah, I really hope you enjoy this build if you're gonna try it, and I really hope you're gonna write some comments if you have any suggestions to the build or anything. And yeah.